So a million years ago, there were Space Invaders, and Space Invaders was very successful to the point where everybody and their mother wanted to make a Space Invaders clone so that they can get in on the money. And there are a few of them that are pretty notable for being successful in doing so. One of them is Galaxian. It's like a step above Space Invaders. It took the same base gameplay and bumped it up a notch by adding enemies that dive down at you and more patterns and stuff like that. So, and also colorful graphics and a cool star field in the background. One of those other games that was moderately successful, at least, was is my new game. This is Centuri Phoenix, and it's only licensed by Centuri. It was licensed by Taito in Japan, and I think the group that developed this game is relatively unknown. So it's kind of just a mystery, unless they figured that out. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure of the specifics of that because it doesn't matter, because this game is pretty cool. It's a little bit jankier than most. It's a Centuri cabinet. It's in pretty good shape, as you can see this side art here. I don't know if this is original or not. I'm kind of leaning towards original. It has some minor damage and stuff, and it's got that kind of print where you can feel the different inks layered on top of each other. You can kind of see where the black got rubbed off right here, and it's only the black, not the other colors. It's kind of that kind of art, but it looks really good. Also, it'd take a lot of effort to put new art on here because there are carriage bolts going through, and that would just make things kind of a pain in the butt. There's even more on the other side. See if we go over here. There are about 5 of them. The control panel is in pretty good shape. No dents or anything like that, anything crazy. The art's got a little bit of wear, but that's pretty normal. It's only got 4 buttons for the gameplay. You got left, right, force field, and fire. So it's a pretty simple game. It's like the Space Invaders upright cabinet where it only has buttons instead of a joystick. I wonder if that was a cost-saving measure or if it was just a design choice. Either way, it works pretty good. I have no complaints with it. Although I guess the spacing between the left and right can cause issues for some people. I just use like my ring finger and my pointer to use that. It looks like the kick plate got a little bit of rework, I guess. Someone wanted to paint it up or something like that, so it doesn't quite match, but it's not really noticeable in the dark. Also, they installed the coin button for some reason. That's actually kind of a nice button for that. I don't know. This got a little bit of damage on it, but that's just a coin door. Nothing too crazy. It uses the same kind of coin door as an Atari game would. It even has this 3-way switch here. So, yeah. Otherwise, the biggest damage is just the corner of the cabinet, and maybe this T-molding here got a little bit brittle. It needs to get changed. But it's in pretty good shape. I don't know if the bezel in there is original or not. You got taped up right there or something. Anyway, let's take a look inside and see what it looks like in there. Now I got the back off. Let's take a look at the guts. Whoop. Here we have kind of an oddball monitor. This is a Toei CM-A20H-C or something like that. And it's more of a Japanese monitor. It has the high voltage warning sticker right here. Yeah, it's a little bit of a goofy one. I'm not sure if this has ever been recapped or anything like that, but it needs to be recapped again if it has. So I think it got a partial cap kit. You can see some of those gray capacitors in there mixed along with these black ones. And I think that's a Nichicon over there, that purplish one. So it's just like a mismatch. There's this, that one right there. You got 2 capacitors hooked up to the same point there. I don't know, that's kind of janky. So the monitor is not very happy right now. It works, but it's got issues. So that's gonna be one of the things I need to look into. I already ordered a cap kit for it. And if we look down here, this is where the business is. It's pretty sparse in here. It's basically a big wooden cabinet, which it is. And that's the power supply and the game board. So compared to some of the games I have, this is pretty barren looking inside of here. This actually came standard with a switching power supply. That one's going to get removed because I do not see a 5 volts adjustment on it anywhere. So, and the 5 volts is running a little bit hot for my liking, although it's probably been like that for a while. I don't want to run my game like that. This PCB kind of looks like, well, it hasn't been in here the entire time. It's been out on a shelf because you can see the tops of some of those capacitors here a little bit cracked looking. Everything's kind of bent over, so somebody had it on a shelf. They got this weird bodge wire here. I'm not sure how this works because it goes, let me put this down. So it goes from an unused pin on the CPU for the reset output. It goes into this inverter. There's unused pins on an inverter, and it goes to this other one. And so I know if I yank this wire off, because I did when I was adjusting these dip switches, the noise sound would go away. So your shooting and the explosion sounds would all stop working, which kind of sucks. I didn't feel like figuring out how exactly this is working and fixing it probably would be the right way. So I just put it back, and that's how it's going to be. So yeah, that's pretty basic. This is Phoenix, the board for Phoenix. This chip right here is what makes the music, the 2 songs in Phoenix. That is a chip designed for electronic doorbells and alarms and stuff like that. It has pre-programmed in songs and sounds that it's told to play by the computer. So this thing, all the songs are contained on this chip, and they're played back by that chip. So you can replace that chip with other revisions of that chip and get different songs. There's actually a video on YouTube showcasing a different song on a Phoenix board because they're using the wrong chip. But it also means if you wanted to, you could probably make a microcontroller to plug into here and then interface with the computer side of it. So when the computer is trying to play a song for the game, you can pipe in whatever sound or audio you want into the pins here, because it probably just goes straight to the amp. Otherwise, all the sounds are discrete, like analog, funky timer, capacitor weirdness. Got resistors on top of resistors. It makes an excellent cacophony. Now that I have the lights down and everything's plugged in, let's see what kind of stuff it does. Turn the switch on, which is conveniently right here. It sounds like it's dying. And it comes up. Monitor's not very happy though. It's got a bit of the wave, and you will see the raster. It seems like every time I turn it on, the raster gets a little bit worse. That's like really bad now. But it seems to die down a little bit as the game runs. Let me adjust that actually. That's ridiculous. Generally, I don't like making video adjustments while the monitor needs to be recapped or something like that, because then of course you just have to go back and do it again. But that was bad enough for me to want to do an adjustment on. So you can see the monitor kind of has a wave to it. It really needs a B+ capacitor. You can see it kind of jerking around when things change on the screens, just from the voltage kind of bouncing. Anytime the AC kicks on, you'll see it like fly around. It's a little bit cranky. So yeah, this is Phoenix. So the monitor's still a little bit on the reddish side, but this is fine for just a demonstration. I'm going to put a coin in it, or I'll push the coin button. Here's one of the songs from the chip. So yeah, it's like a Galaxian Space Invaders type game where you're shooting the aliens above. You got a force field, which you can use as a weapon if the enemy is trying to hang down by your spaceship. The game has multiple stages. Where are you at? Stage 2, you get 2 bullets. It's just more of the same basic enemy. These guys are supposed to be kind of bird-like. Stage 3 is where you get into the big birds, where they start off as eggs and then hatch. You can shoot their wings off, but in order to kill them, you have to hit them in the center. Stage 4 has more of the same. They can get pretty aggressive and come down towards you and fly past the bottom of the screen and stuff, like I'm gonna try and do right there. Dive bomb you. And the 5th one's the mother ship. Oh shit. And the game repeats, getting harder. With different patterns, different, you know. I like how all the enemies can just move at once. Oops. Anyway, so yeah, that's Phoenix. That's the newest game in my garage. I kind of have a soft spot for it, even though it's not like a well-known game. That's a game I used to play a lot on MAME, back when I used to play MAME a lot. Which was, you know, back in high school, I could just bring it on my flash drive and play it on the school computers when I'm bored. Phoenix is one of the ones I could get to work because MAME has that weird parent-child sort of structure for its ROMs. So in order to play Pac-Man, you couldn't just download the Pac-Man ROMs, then it wouldn't work at all. You have to download Puck-Man, and you have to have Puck-Man in the same directory as Pac-Man, otherwise it wouldn't work. So I didn't really understand how that worked, or how to merge ROM files and all that good stuff until much later. So Phoenix is one of the games you could just pop in there and play, along with stuff like TAC-SCAN and Space Zap and Wizard of War. So I guess you can tell where some of my arcade game taste came from. Anyway, that's enough for today.